Hello, wrestling fans, and happy holidays. It's December 22nd, 3 days until Christmas, which is going to be having a Monday Night Raw live on Christmas Day, and then the next night on SmackDown we'll have a live episode the day after Christmas. So very interesting. I'm actually excited to see what they do with the whole Christmas stuff. Like, wonder if we'll have like a Christmas Battle Royal or a Christmas Bash, or I don't know, something. Just like
all I know is that John Cena's back.
Yeah, John Cena's coming back. So who knows what that gonna be? There's lots of rumors and stuff. That the Undertaker is gonna show up, and that there's rumors that The Rock may show up, and there's so much rumors. It's so hard to tell what's
real.
What's an actual for real like rumor, or what is something somebody just made up, or what is there's just so much stuff, but there's so much going on here. So I didn't have an episode last week. I got hit pretty hard with the respiratory infection and the flu, so didn't get to meet last week and do our predictions and our recaps last week. So we're just gonna talk about Clash of Champions, and then the recaps, and then our homework assignments, the matches we gave each other to watch. Talk about those a little bit at the end.
I actually forgot to do that.
Oh, okay. So I guess
we'll do that next week.
We'll do that next time.
I'm sorry. I've been busy. Like, Christmas week is busy for me, and so I've been really busy all through the week, and so I just totally forgot.
Oh, that's cool. So we'll do that next time. We'll do that next time.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. We'll do that next time, but I'm sure we could. If we want to fill some time just discussing things, whatever, I'm sure we could do that, and that's always fun to do and whatnot. So, some crazy things happened. Dean Ambrose got hurt. He had surgery yesterday or 2 days ago, one of the two, I can't remember, but yeah, he got hurt. He hurt his arm pretty bad.
Yeah, it sounds like he's been dealing with it for a bit. It was just needed to be done as soon as possible, so that's why they wrote him off TV. He hurt his quarm, as Wrestle Talk News said, because they misprinted arm. And they put his quarm, Q-A-R-M. His quarm is hurt. Now this is his shoulder. I think WWE said that his tricep was torn a little bit off of his arm, so he's going to be out for a bit.
Yeah, I said 6 months maybe that he could be gone. So hopefully they'll recover and think of something good to fill. I don't know what their plans were with the Shield and with the tag team of Rollins and Ambrose or what, but so that was pretty crazy. And what else happened? You were just talking about something.
Yeah, there have been talks that Vince McMahon is interested in bringing back the XFL, and people were trying to figure out how that was going to happen. I mean, last time financially, NBC was involved, and so we just were trying to see how Vince McMahon would go about paying for things, and so over the last couple of days, he took out $100 million of his stock and sold it. So he's interested in this venture, whether it's the XFL or some version of XFL, or if it's just putting it into this group. I think it's called Alpha Entertainment. To put it into this group to come up with different alternate sports entertainment ideas. And so we will see. It's interesting that Vince would sell some of his stock, but he's getting older. I think he wants to. I think he sees what's going on in the NFL. I think he's thinking, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to come up with another league, an alternate league, so that people can stop watching the NFL and start watching this. I think it's a big mistake, personally.
Yeah.
But $100 million, man. I couldn't imagine that much money.
Yeah, no, not at all. So yeah, guess we'll just have to, be like everybody and just wait and see, because we're not wrestling insiders. We don't have our ear to the ground or anything. We'll just have to watch on TV with everybody else.
Most wrestling insiders don't know what they're talking about either.
That's true.
Because I don't know how many times I've read some of the things that Dave Meltzer has said or other sites, and they're like totally off.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to prove that Vince McMahon keeps a lot of things to it close to his vest, and he does that well because, like I said, a lot of things. And I'm not saying Dave's an idiot or anything. It's just I think people are swerving.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are coming out who work for Vince are kind of swerving everybody. Like, oh, this is what it's going to be. Oh, this is what it's going to be, and it's totally different. So anyway, you're right. We just got to wait and see what Vince actually does.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he'll start an extreme basketball league.
Or our new fighting league. Because one of he also went out and trademarked some abbreviations.
Oh, okay.
I think one of them was UFL, which on the surface could be like football league.
Mm-hmm.
Could also be Ultimate Fighting League. Like it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have to, like I said, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I think bringing back the XFL is a neat idea, but it's also a bad idea.
I think so too. I do.
Totally bad idea. Well, I was thinking there was some other stuff that I had that I was going to talk about, but I should have just written them down because I knew because I was like I won't forget, and then
you forget.
And then yeah, we get here and now I can't remember anything that went on that I wanted to talk about. But well,
maybe we'll later on.
Yeah, maybe I will later on, and we can fill time with that. But one thing though I didn't forget was January 4th, the Wrestle Kingdom 12, January 4th show in the Tokyo Dome. Alpha versus Omega. We got Jericho versus Kenny Omega. Excited to see that. I think I was actually gonna suggest. I think it would be cool to wait and watch that, and then just do that live on an episode of the podcast. Watch that match. Just whenever we
get to it.
when we can meet up and do a podcast after the match is out.
Sure.
I think that'd be really cool.
Yep, I'm down.
And also we will be doing within the next couple weeks. So we're going to be doing our top 10 matches of the year, which I've been working on that periodically ever since like June or July, going back to that every so often and redoing it and stuff, and then our maybe we could do that next week if we meet next Friday like we talked about possibly doing. We could do the top 10 matches, and then after the first of the year, next time we meet up after that, we could do our our end of the year wrestling awards, because that was a blast last year.
It was.
I had a lot of fun doing that. So I can't wait to do that. That'll be loads of fun. Couple new categories I added. Couple I redid and stuff like that, and I renamed them and stuff like that, make them more fun. So
Awesome.
So yeah, I can't wait to do those, man. There anything else before we jump into the show as a whole?
Can't think of anything.
All right. So just real quick before we jump into Clash of Champions, anything that happened last week on the shows that really jumped out at you?
I don't even remember most of last week. What I do remember is I think most people thought that the Go Home show, the SmackDown Go Home show, was good. I was kind of in between.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it, but you could tell it was a Go Home show.
Yeah.
You could tell that they were just pushing all that stuff. So, and they were keeping it safe, and so, I mean, it wasn't one of the better Go Home shows, but it was fine. But as far as Raw, I don't remember what was going on.
Well, that was the first time we saw Woken Matt. Wasn't it where him and Bray Wyatt had the back and forth? Had that, which I enjoyed, that whole back and forth promo between them on Raw. I really liked. And then probably the best thing about Raw was Roman Reigns versus Cesaro for the Was that last week? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good match.
That was awesome. So, but yeah, other than that, I can't remember that much about last week. So it's kind of been bogged down by NyQuil and everything that happened this week. So, all right, cool. Well, nothing else. So, all right.
Clash of Champions.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll talk about Clash of Champions like we usually do. We'll go back and forth and stuff like that. So, were you really excited for this pay-per-view? Were you?
I wasn't as excited for this one as I was Raw's or the last one for Survivor Series. So yeah, I think the first of all, the main event was kind of, but or in my mind, the first thing I thought of when I heard about this Clash of Champions, I just it didn't. The only thing that I cared about was the whole Kevin Owens Sami Zayn storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I really cared about. But I came out with a more positive view of Clash of Champions. What about you?
Yeah, I was kind of just like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be a standalone one brand
Mm-hmm.
pay-per-view. Um, so I was kind of like, I'm sure there'll be some good stuff, but overall, I'm just kind of mad toward. I was just kind of mad towards it. Just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just gonna be typical single brand type stuff. Nothing overly special, but yeah, I came out of it very very entertained and enthused by what happened. So guess we'll get started. Go on it. So I didn't watch the pre-show. Did you?
Nope.
Okay, cool, good, because I didn't care that much about it.
Me either.
So first up, Jeremy, we had the triple threat match for the United States Championship. We had Baron Corbin, the champion, versus the glorious one, Bobby Roode, versus the show-off, Dolph Ziggler. Jeremy, what did you think of this match?
It was way better than I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. Like each one of these guys can hold their own in the ring, but this was way better than I could even imagine. I know a lot of people were like, "Well, Dolph winning, that's just really weird. Why would they have him win?" However, after SmackDown, I'm intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
After SmackDown this week, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. And I didn't hate it. I thought the end was a little like the finisher thing was a little sloppy with Bobby landing on his backside, but other than that, I thought it was good. I thought Dolph winning was all right for me. What about you?
Yeah, I thought this match was awesome. A lot of good, fast-paced action. A lot of good, uh, some good high spots that I really enjoyed. I like that they that they teamed up against Baron Corbin to start Roode and Ziggler, and then before Ziggler could turn on Roode, Roode turned on him and
Yep.
stuff. But yeah, the finish I really liked. I thought that was cool to do the end of days into the zigzag. So that, like, they all three hit at about the same time. Like, I really liked that. That was pretty awesome. And then they did the powerbomb superplex spot too, which was pretty cool. Even though sometimes it can be kind of contrived because it looks like it's being set up instead of happening organically. In the storyline of the match, instead of looking like it happens organically, it looks like it's just they're waiting for somebody to come into it. So, but that's such a minor thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It was, I think that even could have been a main event.
Yeah.
Like, even though it was only, 13 minutes almost, like, still, it was really good. Definitely worth watching. I enjoyed it.
I felt like it needed to be, after watching it, I felt like it needed to be higher up the card. I think it should have replaced, I think the Bludgeon Brothers should have went on first.
Yeah.
And then the U.S. title in that place. It was a better match than what I thought it was going to be. Even though they have had really good matches to start the show, I think that would have been a good one to put in the middle and start off with the Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championship, because that was a great match too. But, so that's the only complaint I had about it, was that it should have been in the middle of the card instead of the first.
Okay.
All right. The second match of the main show was the Fatal 4-Way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus the New Day versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, and versus Rusev and Aiden English. Caleb, what were your thoughts about this match?
Match of the night for me, easily. I love that everybody got a chance to shine, especially Rusev and Aiden English, especially like that. And yeah, man, like Chad Gable going crazy with them German suplexes. That was the spot of the night, was him going crazy on everybody with that. And I'm just like, okay, it's funny because I was just like, okay, so he just straight up murdered everybody, and then I watched the Cultaholic WTF moments, and he just goes, Chad Gable is a murderer or something like that. And so yeah, like he just went nuts. That was awesome to
That's
see.
my new favorite movie right now. Just the rolling. He did it on Tuesday night too. So
Yeah, I
which is
mean,
really cool.
and the way people land on it, it
Yeah.
looks like they're breaking their neck. Like,
Yeah.
you know, really, it was
Yeah,
just.
I'm glad to see Aiden English was okay.
Yeah. Because I was just like, oh well, he just died. And yeah, just everybody in this just played such a great part.
Yep.
Everybody, it was just it was just a fun match to watch. It just proved that the tag team division, especially in WWE, is probably the best it's been, at least in my lifetime, or you know, at least that I can remember. And you know, the Usos, like I keep saying, are, you know, just at the top of their game, at the top of the tag team game in all of wrestling right now. They're doing so well. Um, and yeah, they really haven't had a bad match that I can recall this year, and this one not even close to being bad. Like, so much fun, so many big spots. The crowd, you know, putting over Rusev Day hard. You know, they were loving all that, and you know, I loved their intro before the match. I just everything about it. Just this match was just really really good. Easily match of the night.
I agree. I think Chad was the standout of this match. The rolling German was a cool kind of concept. I don't remember him doing it before, but I enjoyed it. Like everybody, he just destroyed everybody. Um, I felt also that the near counts with Rusev, or the accolade, the possible, you know, just everything about it. Like I felt like the best part of this pay per view was all the endings, except obviously except for the Bludgeon Brothers match. That was just to showcase their power and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But every one of the endings I thought was spot on and very well thought out and planned and well executed. So I really enjoyed. Like I said, I really enjoyed the whole Rusev and the accolade and all the stuff that happened with them being over and just everything that happened. And I was okay with. I also the only bad things, I felt like the Usos were the ones, even though they won, they weren't very highlighted in this match,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess in a way is fine because you see see Rusev and Aiden getting into it, and you see Chad and Shelton shining, you see the New Day shining, and then to have the Usos win, it's kind of that same concept as the first match. It's like you don't really see it coming, you don't see them winning, which is a good thing to do. You keep that, like I said earlier, you keep it close to your vest, and you just wait for the finish to happen. So I really liked it. I thought it was one of the best. It was the best match of the night, by far.
Cool. All right, then we had Charlotte Flair versus Natalya in a Lumberjill match. That's right, I'm calling it that because that's what it is. Don't know why they just all of a sudden stopped calling it that. A Lumberjill match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Jeremy, what did you think of this Lumberjill match?
Dead air. That's what I thought. I didn't hate it, but the thing, I don't know. I keep thinking about it, and I felt like the Lumberjacks or Lumberjills didn't do a whole lot, even though they were in it. They weren't a main player in it as much. And once they were all kind of spread out, you realize that there's only really two faces in the company right now, or at least on SmackDown right now. And so I thought that was kind of interesting to see that Naomi's a face and Charlotte's a face. Becky Lynch is quote unquote injured and out, so she's a face too. But there's six heels to three faces essentially, if not more. So that's really interesting. The thing that was the most interesting was Natalia's statement at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that intrigued me the most about this whole thing. To have her, I'm just done with you. Statement. It's like, what do you mean you're done with this? Are you going away for a while? Or are you taking a break? What's going to happen? And they didn't do anything on SmackDown, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is best if they're going to extend whatever they're going to do with her. So I'm interested in seeing what happens with that. But otherwise, the match was kind of eh. Like I said, I felt like that should have been maybe first. But Anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, this match. Yeah, I kind of was bored by this a little bit. It's a lumberjack style match. Like and both of these gals are awesome at what they do and can go. And yeah, they're better far. They're capable of far better than this. And it just seemed like they were kind of just playing it safe and playing it. You know, just like let's just do a standard kind of just like this felt like a TV match. This didn't feel like a big pay-per-view match and a big ender to a storyline or whatever. Yeah, it just was here like and that stinks. That we say that because both of these these two ladies are awesome wrestlers and two of the best on SmackDown, and so yeah, it kind of sucks that they just aren't really doing much in this match. They were just kind of there, and the match was just kind of there. It just existed to fill a spot. It really didn't. It just really didn't do much for me, and that stinks though. So
Agreed.
that's really about it. It just wasn't bad, but it just really wasn't anything that grabbed me.
Could have been better. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better.
All right. The next match is the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper Rowan, versus Breezango. Caleb, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was just there to make them look strong. So
Yep.
that's about it.
Agreed. Nothing else more to say.
Nope. So then we had the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the team of Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura with the SmackDown Live general manager and commissioner Daniel Bryan and Shane O'Mac. Jeremy, what did you think of this match?
It's another one of those that makes me scratch my head. I like the finish. I like the setup to the finish. I noticed that not halfway, but the first like 5 or 10 minutes, Shane lost his mic, and so I was concerned how or his mic, his earpiece. So I was kind of concerned on how they were gonna continue this match if he couldn't hear it from the back. What needed to be done. I thought it was convoluted in having two referees. I felt like when they decided, you take this side, you take this side. Even after that, they had several pins in the middle that they didn't both go down and do and count and whatnot. I don't know. I'm interested in the storyline more than I am this match, and so I thought the match could have been better. It just wasn't as good. I think the worst thing about it was the two refs. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought the match was okay. It was there to serve a purpose, and the purpose was to advance the storyline, which is okay. The match had some good spots in it to keep you interested and to just make you just sit there and just be like, oh, I'm so bored. Like it had enough to keep me interested and to not just like be like, okay, just let's get done with the storyline, because the way the storyline came to a peak on SmackDown, I was good. So advantage, advantage SmackDown there. But yeah, I liked the end too, and I liked seeing Daniel Bryan. Like, yeah, he is kind of siding with the bad guys, but he's doing the right thing. He's doing what his job is to keep Shane McMahon honest, keep SmackDown on, so like the storyline, all that stuff, in the storyline, is good. So, yeah, the match, could have been better, but it was serviceable for what it needed to be. Really no complaints other than, just they could have tried a little bit harder, but like I keep saying, it served the purpose it needed to, was to hold your attention while the storyline stuff played out. And the whole thing with the two refs was kind of weird. Yeah, it was just really weird. I've never understood that, having the two refs thing.
There's not enough room in the ring for two refs and 2 to 4 extra guys either.
Yeah.
To do what they need to get done. I know they do it all the time with Royal Rumbles and stuff, but to get what you need done, it's just hard. It's hard to get to do that.
It is, but yeah, it didn't let me down though, and it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was just mainly for storyline purposes, and it wasn't, which doesn't mean it was bad.
Yep.
So, what about you already talked about it. Yeah.
So,
okay.
last match tonight. Man, tongue tied today. Main event:
Okay.
AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. What are your thoughts about the match?
It was decent. It felt like a big main event. It's funny, in the Cultaholic Reactions videos, they talk about how AJ was letting Jinder get more offense in than even Brock did in the first part of this. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, this might be the best match of Jinder Mahal's career.
Yeah, I would agree.
Putting somebody up against AJ Styles means one of two things: AJ's gonna look like the standout in the match, or he's gonna make the other person look like $1 million. I mean, both of those. Okay, number one's always gonna happen. AJ's always gonna look great, but yeah, I mean, he can make the other person just look fantastic. And yeah, I thought this was really good. Because Jinder is not a bad worker. He's just not one of the best. He's a little, I don't know how to say it, not really stiff, but he's kind of just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah.
Just his moveset's limiting.
Yeah. I guess he's a limited wrestler. I guess is a good way to say it. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. So yeah, he's very limited in what he does, and so yeah, this match kind of helped with everything, and yeah, it was really it was an entertaining match, not 5-star classic by any means, but it was a good way to end the show with AJ, going over big and stuff like that, and I know a lot of people are just like, ugh, like we had to deal with Jinder Mahal as champion for 6 months. Don't put it back on him. But it's like, well, they're doing, they're trying to build interest in the Indian market, and they were also trying to build a heel, which they did very well. And so, I won't fault them for that. But I feel like the experiment's over, so don't put it back on him.
Agreed.
I feel like AJ should hold it until WrestleMania, and then the Royal Rumble winner Shinsuke Nakamura beats him, because that needs to happen. That's my hill to die on for this WrestleMania. That should be the main event. Is that? But yeah, I can't think of anything else to say really, except I just now talking about this. Just remembered one of the things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
was okay. They're in India. They're having these massive house shows over in India, right?
Or they're trying to.
And Sneaking Triple H buries Jinder Mahal in his ancestral homeland of India.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay. Not a big fan of Jinder Mahal, but why that? You spent 6 months with him as champion, building him up as a great big bad guy, just to have him lose, on his quote unquote home field to, the ultimate barrier. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. And then I heard on Dave Meltzer's podcast talking about him and the guy he does this podcast with, who I can't stand. I don't even know his name. Like, they talked about how Hunter asked, like, why he didn't put, somebody asked Triple H why he didn't put over Jinder in India. And it's like, you just spent 6 months building him up as one of the big heels in the company now. He was the champion for those 6 months. You're building it, all this stuff. And then you just have him lose. You're building towards shows in India, and then you just have him, and then you just beat him in India. Like why that and stuff like that. And apparently he was very dodgy with the question and kind of stopping and re-saying things and kind of. So it's just like.
There's no reason, gotcha.
it's no reason you just wanted to win.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you could have done what's best for business and let this heel that you're building up win. But anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't. It's just like, oh yeah, we had to suffer through, 6 months of building him up as a big bad guy. Him burying Shinsuke and, all this stuff. And so, anyways. So, your thoughts on that?
It could be just that they're done with trying to build an Indian market because they tried to sell a couple shows and they weren't selling at all. And I think part of that might be because the country is not necessarily the richest country in the world, and when you have that many people, like there's people who and they have that caste system. There's people who aren't going to be able to come to the show, and so depending on the price of the tickets, you may not be able to get that many people there. And so if you lower the price of the tickets, if you want to be in the Indian market, then you need to do that. You need to lower your prices. And so it may just be that he buried them because we're done with India, which is sad. But
anyways, your thoughts on the match?
My thoughts on the match are it was fine. It was fine. It was a good main event. I think everything you said was right. It's just it was Ginger's best match he's ever had. I thought AJ made him look better than he's ever looked. And so for me, it was fine. It was a good final match. I think the only problem I had was that you knew AJ was going to win. I like a match that you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who's going to win, especially a main event match, especially for a title like that. That's my only complaint. But that same can be said about the Royal Rumble with the Universal title. Rock's going to win that because they're shooting for WrestleMania to have Roman win there. So I don't know. I thought it was fine. It was a good match.
All right. So letter grade. If you were to give this a letter grade, Clash of Champions.
I give the first two matches an A, and then the women's match just drug it down. So I'm gonna say a B-.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. B- for me. Some good stuff there. A lot, coming off the show, I was just like, man, not a lot to complain about, and there wasn't. But the stuff that was good was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that wasn't really, really good, just kind of like you said, kind of drug. Wasn't necessarily bad, but just kind of drug. So.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it gets a B- from both of us. Clash of Champions. So now we move on to the weekly recaps. This week's Raw and SmackDown. Jeremy, what about Monday Night Raw? Did you like? What didn't you like? What intrigued you? What bored you to death? Overall, what did you think of the show?
I thought the show was fine. I thought both shows were good. I thought Raw. My favorite things on Raw were Matt Hardy's promo.
Mm-hmm.
The chess thing. That was very, very fun to watch. Very, very great. Napoleon, the fish. It was great. It was well delivered. It makes me excited for this character. I really, really enjoyed that. So that was one thing. The other thing that I really enjoyed was I liked the main storyline they were doing with the Jason Jordan and Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. I liked that. It was entertaining. I enjoyed the outcome. I'm interested in seeing because they didn't have a match. Yeah, that's right. They didn't have the Seth Rollins Samoa Joe match. Man, my brain is broken today.
You mean woken?
I mean woken.
We can't say broken.
No, it's broken right. It's broken right now. It's not woken. It's not as clear as Matt's brain is right now. But yeah, I thought that was a good setup. I hope we don't have to wait until Royal Rumble to see that match, which I'd be okay with. But it's
which match again?
Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins.
Oh, I think they want to do Roman and Samoa Joe at the Rumble. Is what I've been hearing. What I've heard.
Yeah, that would make more sense. But I'm trying to think of. I like this main storyline. I thought that was fine. I don't hate Jason Jordan as much as everybody else. I like that kind of whiny, childish character that they're building with him. I'm interested in the payoff eventually. And so like I said, I don't hate him as much as everybody else. I think he's a great athlete. He may need to add a couple things to his moveset, but he works well with everybody. I feel. I don't think he's really had a bad match. I think he's done his job pretty well, in my opinion. So those are two things I really enjoyed. One thing I wish I would have enjoyed more was Hideo Itami's his entrance into the main roster. I felt like he was a little sloppy at times. I felt like he was a little out of shape as well, which was interesting. I haven't watched his 205 Live match, and so I may be totally off there. He may have had a really good match, but I wish it was better. I wish that match was a little bit better planned out. I felt like I said, it just was a little too sloppy for him. And the other thing I wish I would have enjoyed more, I just felt like it was, as the ending for the show, I just felt like it could have been somewhere else. Like it just was, hey, we're having a Royal Rumble, goodbye.
Yeah, that was.
It was just kind of like, okay, great. I'm happy for the Royal Rumble. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see an all women's Royal Rumble. That's great. I hope they do a 30 women roster for that, because I think that would be great. They could bring NXT people in. They could bring in some of those ladies that they had from Mae Young, give them a one-night contract, whatever. They could do something really, really spectacular with the ladies Royal Rumble. But it was just, they were having a match. Everybody was fighting everybody, and then Stephanie comes out, hey, we're having a Royal Rumble, which you and I have talked about. Like, it looks like they're going to have a Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. However, every woman on the roster was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have a Royal Rumble. We're going to have our own Royal Rumble. We're going to make history again. Yeah. It's like, I'm excited for those ladies because they are making somewhat of a history, at least with WWE, which is ecstatic for them because that's their job. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But to have heels break down and cry, like, you broke kayfabe. Like, you broke the fourth wall in this, and it's like, it left a bad taste in my mouth, but not horrible. So those are the two things I really liked. One thing I wish was better, and then the Royal Rumble thing. What about you? What were your favorite things? What didn't you like?
Yeah, the Woken Matt Hardy stuff was great. I loved that. Like, I'm glad that they're letting him. Seemingly, it seems like they're just letting him do that character. Yeah. They're not putting much input in it. They're letting him do that outlandish, fun stuff that he does, like playing chess with Napoleon, who is reincarnated as a goldfish. It seems was hilarious. Like that was great. Like, loved that.
Vince loves that character, and so I think he trusts Matt, and so I think we're gonna get the best.
That's good. Thing. That's good. Yeah, I can't wait to see what else they do. Having Bray Wyatt be the one who, quote unquote, breaks Matt Hardy, and being the first feud as this character, I think was the right call. That's what a lot of people wanted for the first feud. Like, they wanted, like, what. I mean, now we find out that he is awoken. He's not, he's not broken. But, like, I'm still going to be saying break. Just get, it makes sense that this supernatural, creepy, voodoo witch doctor type guy would be the one to break him mentally and then just send him over the deep end. And I can't wait until Jeff comes back, and hopefully, because his middle name is Nero, so TNA can't say, oh, you can't say the name Brother Nero. And he's just, because they talked about that in an interview with Corey Graves, they're like, are we going to see Broken Matt and Brother Nero? And he just goes, well, we're trying to figure, settle all the copyright stuff, and because it's our intellectual property, we came up with those characters and stuff like that. But they want to say that they did, and blah blah blah. And then Jeff just smiled, and he's just like, and my middle name's Nero. They can't trademark. He's like, my middle name's Nero, and I'm his brother. They can't trademark that. So I'm really interested to see. I'm wondering if when Jeff comes back, he'll come back, like, he'll be Jeff, but then Matt will, be all like, Brother Nero, or whatever. or if he will come back like as Brother Nero and help Matt win against.
I could see them doing either
So
way, because if he's gone for so long, they could just have him come back and say, Brother Nero has been searching the lands for whatever.
yeah.
Like,
There's so much fun stuff they
yeah.
could do. Yeah.
And so I totally agree. I not only that with Bray is the best thing for this whole Woken Matt Hardy, but the Woken Matt Hardy is the best thing for Sister Abigail. I've loved the dialogue that Matt has come out with Sister Abigail. Like, we walk hand in hand. Like, that whole stuff is great. It's a great picture in my mind. And so I really enjoyed at least that. And so I feel like at least the two characters are working well off each other.
Yeah, I've loved every second of it since like when he lost to Bray Wyatt and then he just like started like shaking back and forth and then started screaming delete, delete, delete. I was just like, it's happening, it's actually happening. Like, I mean, and like the delete thing for some reason it just works. Like it's just people love it to death.
Mm-hmm.
It's super funny. It's it's a great wrestling because everybody there's a wrestling thing. Like it's a great wrestling thing. And like it doesn't matter what you think,
Mm-hmm.
time to play the game. Like it's a great wrestling thing, like all that stuff, And so yeah, that stuff was great. Like that stuff, I feel like is gonna be some of my favorite stuff to come. And so to hear that Vince really loves that character, and to hear that he may just have complete faith in Matt, let him do whatever with it is awesome. So
Agreed.
that's really cool. Yeah, the Hideo Itami thing I enjoyed, but it did seem it almost seemed like last minute.
Yeah.
Like maybe he was there backstage and was like, hey, you want to throw your tights on and come out and save Finn Balor? Like
I think what they were doing was trying to hype his 205 Live. Like they were throwing him on there to be like, oh hey, Hideo Itami's here, so go watch him on 205 Live.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was cool to see him and Finn Balor on a team. That was pretty. And his theme music is really cool. I love his theme music. Like it's pretty rad.
I felt like the timing was a little off. I think Kevin Dunn screwed up. Just
Yep.
to say, Kevin Dunn.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, probably. Teeth.
Yep. That's what happened. Teeth got.
I'm sorry. But yeah, the stuff with Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Jason Jordan, I enjoyed as well. The tag match at the end, that they had was pretty good. Sucks that Ambrose, got hurt. That really sucks. But the match did a shot, and it just seemed like they ended it quickly so they could, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Seth was just like, it seems like they were calling for the quick ending, because from what I understand, what I've heard people talk about is they have like a fail-safe, like if somebody gets hurt, like, they have like something that they say or do for like a quick ending to the match so that whoever's hurt can, they can end the match and the person who's hurt can go get help or something like that. I guess they go into every match. Like, I mean, that could just be one of those, like, myths you hear, like, like, how people think, like, Freemasons are secretly running the world. Like, this could be one of those wrestling things, like, oh, yeah, they always have a fail-safe in case somebody gets hurt, like, so, apparently, that's what I've heard over the years, is that they always have, like, a contingency plan in case somebody gets hurt, so, because the match ended really abruptly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's what happened. Ambrose hurt his arm.
Dean was hurt before this.
I know he was hurt before, but like it looked like his arm like got like caught.
I don't know.
Like I thought that he got it hurt worse in the match, and it ended quickly.
So. Oh. I think it was just they did that to write him off.
Okay. Like I knew that he had been having elbow problems, but like it looked like he like actually like hurt it worse. And
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, that's all that stuff was good. I don't hate Jason Jordan either. The whole whiny like but dad thing is kind of is funny and it works. Like I think it totally works. No Roman Reigns this week. This must have been his week off. So that stinks because his open challenge has been pretty good so far. He's had some pretty great matches for the Intercontinental title. So that stinks, but I'm sure he'll be back on Christmas Day, which will be cool. Wonder who will answer the challenge on Christmas Day.
That's right. I wonder who. John Cena.
Oh, you think it'll be John Cena?
He's there, man.
Like, I was thinking, like, all right, John Cena's there. Is he gonna answer the open challenge?
The reality is they want people to watch it on Christmas Day. And granted, it's hours after everybody's done Christmas stuff, unless in theory, unless you have stuff going on later that night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 7 o'clock our time. People should be able to sit down and watch it. Why not? Why not say it's going to be John Cena versus Roman Reigns? Like, that would be something that people would want to tune in into. But they haven't announced that.
They haven't, yeah.
And so unless they do it, that Sunday night, we'll see.
Yeah. And also, Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels are going to be there. Maybe one of them comes out of retirement for one more match for a Christmas Day Super Challenge against Roman Reigns. I don't know. That's not going to happen.
I think Kevin's actually, he just went through surgery.
Oh, he did?
Like, to correct all of the stuff with his legs that have always hurt him. He's like, it's time to do that. And so he ended up doing that. So I don't think he'll be wrestling anytime soon.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I could see it being John Cena. That'd be a nice Christmas treat because their match at No Mercy was really good. So if they did a TV match, I think that'd be fun. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what could happen?
We'll see.
I just can't wait to watch.
Tune in.
I cannot wait to watch the Raw on Christmas night. I don't care what my family says. I'm watching. I'm watching Monday Night Raw.
Stop talking to me. I'm watching Raw.
Exactly. So yeah, I can't wait for all that. So excited for Christmas. For so many different reasons.
Presents. I'm watching Raw.
I'm ready for wrestling. But man, what else? What else did I like? I liked a lot. Yeah, the stuff. Awesome. I love that. I've been saying that. Like, I hope they do a women's Royal Rumble, and it's awesome that they are. But yeah, it was. Like, and you and I, we're modern men. We're all for equality and all that. For women getting everything to share the same as the guys. But it just was weird the way that Stephanie did it. Like,
yep, I agree.
I mean, and I get it. I know I know that women, usually are more sensitive than guys and more emotional than guys. But I mean, to see heels break down and cry,
they all broke character.
Like, and I get it. In an instance like that where your emotions kind of overtake you because it's a big history-making moment for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they should have found a better way to do it to kind of protect the facade, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little strange, but that's such a minor thing because getting a women's Royal Rumble will be awesome. Speaking of which, who's your money on?
I don't know. It just depends on.
For me, it's a no-brainer, honestly.
Who do you got?
It's Asuka. Like, I just feel like it's gonna be Asuka.
Maybe.
Like
yeah, probably.
Because I feel like it'll be Asuka, and then she'll beat Alexa at Mania, unless they want to have her challenge Charlotte and switch brands. But I don't see that happening.
No, that won't happen.
So yeah, I think they'll want to keep Asuka on Raw. I don't think they'll want to switch her over so soon. But so yeah, that I just can't think of anybody else because it's
Nia's the only other possibility. But you're right. I mean,
yeah.
Unless they would. I don't know if they would include the Royal Rumble as like if she lost that, if she got kicked out, would that be a loss for her?
Yeah.
Or if not, I don't know. I guess that would be the biggest. Yeah, that might be the way to go. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if they hold her off until like 25-30 area.
Yeah.
So.
Or if they just put her at number 1 and she destroys everybody. Like that would make her huge.
That would.
Do you have any thoughts about who might come in for like special?
Well, like just for the Rumble, like just to come back for that. I could see Kelly coming back for that. I don't know. I don't think Trish will.
the way she sounded on Twitter, it sounds like she might be up for it.
Oh, really? You think she might be up for it?
She's like, wear them boots, is what she said.
That's funny. I could see Lita coming back for it more so than Trish, but yeah, I didn't see that tweet from Trish, so yeah, that'd be really cool. If both of them came back for it, that'd be pretty neat.
So I really think they could easily put together at least a 30 woman Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, if they had to do just 20, they could, just because the roster for the women's isn't as big as the guys.
But they could do 20 for all that's there.
Mm-hmm.
They could do 5 from NXT and then 5 from the past. I think Beth Phoenix would probably come out for another.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Rumble.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's so much stuff they could do, and like what's it, Gargano's wife, like
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae, yeah, I couldn't think of her name. Like, I could see them, because she's not in NXT. I think she's still in the Indies, right?
She's not. She was just in there for the Young Classic.
Oh, she was in that? That's cool. So yeah, I could see, them like getting her and stuff like that, and like, of course, like, yeah, I could see like, maybe not Ember Moon because she's the NXT champion.
I think that would be it. I think they need to put her in it.
You do actually?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, just real quick. Do you think Ember Moon should go on SmackDown or Raw when they bring her up full time?
Personally, SmackDown.
Yeah, I think SmackDown as well.
I think SmackDown, and I think when they do that, I think Charlotte needs to go over to Raw again.
Needs to go back over.
Not for any other purpose other than she's too good. Like both of them are really good. I think Ember, not necessarily that Ember could carry the women's division on SmackDown, but I think her popularity.
I think she could.
I think eventually she could, but not straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Yeah, they need to build her up on the main roster a little, yeah, for sure.
But I think SmackDown is the best place for her. I think, and the reason why, another reason why for Charlotte to move over is to build her up, and not necessarily to have, because Charlotte's the big deal in SmackDown women's division. Like nobody else touches her, and so I think they need to move her over, especially if Asuka does become women's champion, and then that match needs to happen.
That match does need to happen because that would just be an epic clash.
Unless they build it up for a year and do Survivor Series,
Big show. So yeah, all that stuff was all the women's Royal Rumble stuff has got me really pumped to see what they do.
Agreed.
So can't wait for that. Can't wait to see who comes back, who comes up from NXT, blah blah blah. I can't wait for all that stuff. I just hope they don't do any. And some people think that Ronda Rousey will make her debut in the Women's Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Do you see that as a high possibility?
It's a mid possibility. There are reports that the other two horsewomen have stopped training for professional wrestling, so it sounds like the horsewoman thing isn't going to happen at all. But I could see her. I think she's serious about it, so I could see her. I could see her coming in, but I bet they hold off until WrestleMania. Maybe even. They're not going to do it. Never mind. I bet they hold her off until WrestleMania. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just like, do they want her to like, I don't know, like, is she going to like, make a debut like in the Rumble? Is she going to just be there, like her presence will be felt, and then like she'll debut? Like, I don't know. I couldn't even begin to.
I do think that they will allow a lot of press to cover Ronda possibly coming in to hype a possibility for Royal Rumble, but I don't. If she is there, I don't think she's in the Rumble. I think she's outside the ring.
Okay. Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like she's either going to be ringside or she's going to be debuting in it.
And it's just going to be hard because I know she's training. She is a big name, and yet you build up Asuka in NXT, and she is the kind of the most powerful woman in the locker room. You're supposed to be. Then you bring Ronda Rousey in, and it's like, what do? Do you build her to be powerful enough to take down Asuka, or do you keep Asuka, who will stay with the company longer. Who knows how long Ronda will stay with the company? Who knows if Ronda can even cut it in the company? So, no idea.
Yeah, you know, lots of variables.
Yep.
Trying to think of what else on Raw I liked. Kind of drawing a blank.
Yep.
You know, kind of talked about all the big stuff that I really, you know, was thinking about. The Enzo Nia Jax stuff was funny.
I didn't get to see that.
And then Gulak came out when they were talking, and you know, it was pretty funny. He you know, totally killed the mood, man. He totally killed the mood. It was very funny.
I love Gulak.
He just like, cause like he accidentally got hit in the nose, so he was like bleeding a little. So he just had like two like Kleenexes like stuffed up sticking out of his nose, and he's like, you know, Enzo's like, you know, talking to Nia Jax and stuff like that, and you know they're like flirting and stuff, and then he just comes up and he just he's like all sweaty and there's like blood, you know, coming out of his nose. He's got like the two Kleenexes shoved up his nose and stuff. He's just like, Enzo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I let you down. I let you down. I lost. It's okay, Gab Gulak, just get out of here, okay? Like, and stuff. And then she's like, yeah, I'll talk to you later, Enzo, and stuff like that. And he's just like, I'm really sorry I ruined it. He goes, you ruined a lot of things. And yeah, it was really funny. Like, Gulak's great.
Gulak is the best. He's the best cruiserweight.
He's really funny. So, yeah, it was just great. Like, he just played it so well. Just the Kleenex is sticking out of his nose, and he's like breathing heavily, and he's just, yeah, it was hilarious.
Awesome.
I can't really think of anything else. Is there anything else you can think
Not
of?
about Raw.
I really can't think of anything else either.
Right.
I think that was about it. So, letter grade. What would you give Raw?
A B. I didn't hate anything about it. Just there's enough to give it an average grade.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I would give it. I'd give it a B minus. It passes, but there's enough stuff there to keep you interested, but not enough to just be like, wow, this Raw. Woo! Like it was really good. So yeah, I'd give it a B minus. It did its job, but you know, it was just one of those Raws that exists.
Yep. It does.
It didn't really serve that much of a purpose. It just was kind of. It seemed like a placeholder setting up the big Christmas night show. And you didn't have Roman Reigns. You really didn't have much Samoa Joe. You know, but the stuff with I completely forgot I was going to talk about this with Brock, Kane, and Strowman.
Oh yeah.
I liked all that stuff.
Yeah,
all that stuff was good. I like the Kurt Angle's just like, all right, I got an idea. At the Royal Rumble, it'll be a triple threat between Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. And then he just like runs out of the ring. He just like said it like super fast and then runs out of the ring because he doesn't want to be in it when these guys go out. Like that was hilarious.
At first, I was like, "What is he?" Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, like,
that was good.
That was good. Like that was really funny. So I'm excited for that. That's like a big like Clash of the Titans type of the big monsters going against each other. So in theory, that match should be pretty good because so far anything in between Brock and Strowman has been pretty decent. Mm-hmm. So yeah, B minus for me for Raw.
Right on. All right, well, SmackDown Live. Caleb, is it fresh in your mind? Do you remember what happened on Tuesday night?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. It was pretty good. I liked it a bit more than Raw. I think for sure. Outside of the main storyline stuff, there wasn't much else that like really stuck out to me. But the main storyline stuff was great. Mainly the opening dialogue between Shane and Daniel Bryan. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, like it was kind of like it seemed like it didn't seem that scripted. Like it actually seemed like real people talking, like having a conversation, which was good. And the bombshell that he dropped, on Shane at the end, he's just like, I'm trying to prevent my friend Shane from turning into Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
And then to just see that wave kind of overtake Shane, just kind of like, holy crap, I'm starting on that road. And then he just goes, all right, Daniel, thanks for explaining everything, and he's like, have a good show. And then you could kind of see the gears turning in his head as he was walking out. He's just like, holy crap, I didn't see it. Like, I'm becoming my dad. Like, I think everybody, I think all guys kind of have a moment like that. A holy crap, I'm my dad kind of moment, or even not just that, but also just where somebody says something that is so blatantly obvious and in front of you that you're just like, holy crap, how did I not think of that? How did I not think of it? So, it was kind of both of those feelings, he was kind of conveying. Like, he just, like, that was really well done. He did a good job of, acting with his face and how he's just, wow, okay, yeah, wow, I need to work on myself here. Like, so yeah, that was really good. That whole opening back and forth between them, I really enjoyed that. What'd you think of that bit?
The opening, I thought it was a bit clunky in the beginning. The crowd didn't help at all, but yeah, the payoff was fine. I'm interested. What it does is it continues the storyline. It gives Shane something to think about. It gives Daniel, hey, I'm trying to be the hero here. I'm trying to help you out. He gets the sympathetic view. You want to see if Shane actually goes ahead and takes the next step into Vince territory. And so I really enjoyed that. I liked the backstage stuff with because it's continuing on the storyline with Sammy and Kevin and Daniel, where Daniel's like, I'd fire you. You guys need to stop being stupid. I'm gonna fire you. And so that stuff, I'm interested in seeing the payoff of this. And so I thought they continued it pretty well.
Yeah, I thought they did too. Like, it was really good. And then, yeah. Okay. I was just blanking on her name. I was like, the guy that goes, woo, his daughter. I can't think of either of their names. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, Charlotte. She talked about the women's Royal Rumble, and then nailed it. And they're like the only two, like you said, they're like the only two faces on that brand now. In a respectful way, like in a respectful, friendly way, she's just like, I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble, and I'm coming for that title. And it was just like, I think everybody would like to see that match. Just like, and then the Riot Squad came out and stuff like that. So we had a match between those, which was cool. And I know Natalia, so I'm interested to see what they do with that. And then Ziggler, that has got me super intrigued.
That's my favorite thing about this episode.
All right, why don't you?
No, you go ahead. It's your turn. I just wanted to let you know that that's my favorite thing about this episode.
All right. I just all the stuff he was saying, I'm just like, where is he going? Like, because everything he was saying, there's so many different ways he could go with it, and then it's just like, is he like? Because I don't think he's quitting WWE. I don't think that's what this means.
No, it's storyline.
Yeah, like, I know some people are totally marking out, like, oh, yep, that's how he's going out. I was just like, I don't think he is. I don't believe much, if any of that Ziggler hates WWE and he wants to leave.
Yeah,
I don't believe much of it. I don't believe much of that.
This is a new character for him, and I think the way they fleshed it out has been really good. I liked what he did. I'm super intrigued.
Totally. Like, I'm just like, is he like saying like, I'm too good for the U.S. title, I don't want it, or is he saying
he's too good for the audience?
Yeah, and so I was just like, she's just like, psh, you know what, I'm better than this. I don't want, like, I'm not going to defend the title because you guys don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve it.
Yeah, what he said. He's like, you guys don't deserve me.
Yeah, you don't deserve to see me put on an awesome match for the U.S. title. Not going to do it. Like, so I'm just so many. I don't know what he's doing with this, but I'm just so intrigued to see it. And the dude is a workhorse. He is their, undisputed, underrated gem is Dolph Ziggler.
I think the biggest problem with him is he's an amalgamation of several different wrestlers. And I think that's the problem that people have with him. I don't care. I think he's a great wrestler. He's a great performer. Like you say, he's a great worker. But I think that's the majority of people just don't like him because he's too much like Shawn. He's too much like several other.
Yeah, he's got some Billy Gunn in him.
Yeah.
A little bit of Flair, a little bit of Rick Rude, but yeah, I mean, he's said many times that Shawn Michaels is his biggest inspiration, and Billy Gunn is a big inspiration, and I see a lot of them in him, but he's still his own thing.
Yep.
Like, so yeah, I hate that so many people are he's just ripping off Shawn Michaels. So I'm just like, well, I mean, isn't Brock Lesnar to a degree just kind of ripping off Ken Shamrock? I mean, but I digress. So yeah, I'm super excited to see where they go with this, to see who he's gonna feud with, where he's gonna go from here. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do. Really, really excited. So what did you think just about all of it? Like, what else could you kind of?
The best thing about the whole thing is what they're doing with Dolph. I think a couple weeks ago when Dolph, I like what Dolph was doing was coming out. You guys want something showy, and so the development of this character, of this new character, this quote unquote new character of a guy who knows his worth and knows that the audience doesn't, or thinks that the audience doesn't care about him, even though he got some "you deserve it" chance. I like the development of this character, and when he lays down the belt, it's like, what's going to happen? And obviously, I say this because I always talk about tournaments. First thing that was in my mind is, oh, it's going to be a tournament for the U.S. title, but we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I think it would be funny if they did a tournament, Dolph entered it, and he wins it, and he puts it down again. Like, it's his character. He's like, look how good I am. I beat this many people, and you still don't deserve me. And he lays it down again, and something else happens.
That would be bloody brilliant.
I feel like it. It's like it's his character now. It's his character. He's a heel who knows his quote unquote knows his worth, which is kind of what indie stars are doing. Like they know their worth. Nothing against Cody Rhodes, but I think that's his kind of personality right now. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just saying, you know what, we could fill a 10,000 stadium. I think you can, but I think that attitude is just like, I know my worth. You guys don't deserve me. I'm not gonna wrestle for you monkeys. I like this character. I'm interested in seeing where it goes. There is news that he isn't going to be on TV for a while, but he will be doing house shows. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna do there?
Yeah.
If it were me, of course, I don't know how much they get paid for house shows, but if he needs that, go ahead. But if it were me and I didn't need to do house shows, I would pull away from everything and just step away. But that's just me. But I like that. I'm super intrigued. They've done something. SmackDown does that where they have a main storyline, have a really big storyline, and it intrigues me. Whereas Raw, it's like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Besides the big main storyline, you don't really care much else about what goes on.
And unless it's something with Brock and Roman, but SmackDown does that where it's like they've got two storylines that I'm super intrigued about. I'm intrigued with the Dolph Ziggler stuff, and I'm still intrigued with the Shane McMahon character thing that's going on there. And so that's my favorite thing. Dolph Ziggler is my favorite thing. The other thing that was weird, my other favorite thing is Rusev Claus. Rusev Claus.
Yes.
That was
the way he leaned forward and pulled his beard down and goes,
hilarious.
"It's me, Rusev."
Yeah, it's me, Rusev. Like that whole backstage thing was awesome and hilarious. I loved that match. The match was really fun to watch, really entertaining. I loved the whole pancakes thing. Like they've gotten pancakes over. They don't need to be over because everybody loves a good pancake.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was great.
Also, another thing that killed me, I don't know. Anytime Big E gets really excited and starts calling everybody sucker, like I just love that when he's just like, "What'd you just say, sucker?" Like all that just kills me every time. Like the way he just gets worked up and jazzed up. Like it's just funny. Just hear, "What'd you say, sucker?" Like all that stuff. It's just funny. And then the Rusev Claus was hilarious. Like, he just pulled the beard out. It's me, Rusev. Like
I love Rusev's character right now. He's not that Bulgarian brute. He's Rusev. He's happy. He's still heelish.
Yeah.
but he's so happy. People like him, and this, I mean, it seems like his character in real life, like his real life personality. Because when you watch some of these up, down, downs with him in it, he's funny. Like, I like this
I
guy.
know.
I want
Like,
to hang out with this
I
guy.
watched that one where you told me like him and Roman were playing a video game, and Roman was just like, "Don't believe anything he does on screen. He's the biggest babyface backstage. Like, he's just like everybody loves this guy. Like, he's the nicest guy backstage. Like,
And now that they're bringing
don't let him fool you.
Yeah, now that they're bringing it out in his character, I love it. He's one of my favorite characters.
It all started with at SummerSlam, they had to restrict the match between him and Randy Orton. They had to constrict it for time to like just go out there, just attack him before, then do one RKO, then win. Like, so they let Rusev get that win back the 2 nights later on SmackDown, where he beat Randy Orton in like 8 seconds. 1 second more, less than he. And then he just like yells, "I defeated Randy Orton! Yes, Rusev number one, Rusev number one." It all started with that, and then people were just like, "Yeah!" Like, to see him, it's like the Cold War's over. We don't need this Russian-esque, like, you American pigs, we don't really need that kind of Russian-esque character anymore. So to have this, guy who is kind of a brute, but but is like a fun-loving kind of oaf, like just totally works, and it's great.
An oaf, but not an oaf. Like he's still he's still competent.
Yeah, he's an oaf, but he's conniving. So yeah.
Yeah, and to have him partner with Aiden English, I feel like Aiden brings, even though Aiden's playing the second fiddle, he brings a lot out of Rusev right now. And so I really enjoyed it.
It's one of those teams that is just like so strange in its existence, in its how it started, that it just worked because of that.
I agree.
And yeah, like I'm so glad like I say this about New Day all the time, and I'm saying it about them, like I'm just so glad those guys found each other and that they paired them up. And because it's been so fast. Like I just love he's like the personal singer for Rusev, and he's his tag team partner, and it's stuff like it's just, and I love just how Aiden was dressed up as Frosty, and he's just like, "Take off the nose," and he like takes off the carrot nose.
That nose is stupid, or whatever he says. It's so funny.
That was killer. Like all that stuff was great.
Was the best backstage. So yeah, Rusev Claus was great. The New Day was really good. The match was entertaining and fun to watch.
It is. I love fun. Like I love Christmas, and I love wrestling, and so I love fun Christmas wrestling stuff. And this episode of SmackDown had a lot of that. And so that's why I can't wait for Raw and SmackDown this week. I hope they do fun Christmas stuff.
I would think that SmackDown would, but we'll see. The two things that I thought were interesting, and it was just me picking it up. Not bad, just weird. What's with Randy's hair?
Yeah, he's growing it back out. Yeah.
I'm not used to.
Like
he looks a lot younger.
Yeah.
With hair, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, he's trimmed his beard a lot shorter, and his hair's growing out, so he's looking much more like the Legend Killer from the early 2000s, and so it makes him look a lot younger. Yeah,
which is kind of interesting, and it sounds like the news coming out about him is that he's asked for February and March off.
Huh.
Which the dude's making millions of dollars, and from what I understand or what I've read, he's happy with his schedule. It's not necessarily John Cena where he comes in every once in a while. He still work. Essentially, what he's doing is he's working when he wants to work, and good for him. I mean, the dude's making millions of dollars for working when he wants to work.
I mean, we can kind of get on Brock about that, but with him, he's a champion though.
Yeah.
And he gets paid so much more than John Cena's the only person who makes more than him. Yeah. And John Cena still appears more often than him, it seems. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Randy's paid his due.
Exactly.
He knows his place in the company.
Yeah.
I'm fine with him doing that. But come on, dude, what's
and also
with the hair?
And also he's got 2 kids and like 2 or 3 step kids now and stuff, and so I'm sure he likes to do that. I mean, and
if you can do that, more power to you. It's not like Brock, who goes away and works his butt off at his farm. Randy's trying to be a family man, and
totally awesome. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, like he has paid his dues. Like he's kind of just like, hey, I've had my time in the sun. I don't need to be fighting for my place in the company. I don't need to worry about getting over and keeping momentum going. He's just like, the dude's 37 years old. He was one of the biggest stars in the company over the past 12, 13 years. Him, Cena, and Batista, were the three guys. And so, yeah, I feel like he totally is just like, he has it seems like he has a 9 to 5 kind of approach to it. Just like, just come in here, have fun, clock in.
And he's just been smart with his money. I mean, he doesn't have to work. He probably won't have to work another day in his life. He could retire at 40 if he wanted to. How old is he? He's 37?
37, yeah.
He could retire at 40, no problem. He wouldn't even have to, if he was smart with his money, he wouldn't have to do anything. But the other thing that was weird to me is he was weird during that match. He wasn't Randy Orton. He was just there. I don't know if it was because there were 6 people involved and he was trying to be safe. He was acting different than what he normally does, and maybe it's because he's not supposed to be, or in this match he's not the the person that the light is supposed to shine on the most.
Okay, yeah.
But he was just go back and watch it. He was just weird.
Yeah, now you
not
say that.
Randy Orton, just weird.
Huh.
I don't know if he it was just weird. I can't describe it. It was as if not that he wasn't going to work the match, not that he wasn't going to do his job, not lazy. He moved weird.
He was playing it kind of loose or something.
Yeah, maybe? Loose, but not Randy Orton loose, weird loose. It was weird to me, and so I would watch him, and he would be slow, and like I said, I don't know if it's because there were 6 people, 7 plus the ref, 7 people in the ring at one time, and for me it was just weird. However, the match was fine, but those were the things. Dolph, my favorite thing in the whole night. Rusev Claw's second favorite thing of the whole night, and then Randy Orton is weird. Anyway, what were your thoughts about SmackDown?
Yeah, just all that stuff that I said earlier, and we've been going back and forth about. I liked all that stuff.
I guess what was anything else that we mentioned?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else
Charlotte. After the package that was played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great package that was just played. That's how she sounded. And then she went into her she is the worst on the mic when she has to come up with her own. She is horrible when she sits at the broadcaster booth thing. She's horrible at those things. Where she just has to think on her feet. Yeah, that was a spectacular. It was horrible. But then she got into her lines and she was fine-ish. Anyway, that was the other thing that I was just yeah, that was a good package.
Well, and also, Naomi getting chicken head over? She called the ladies. She called them chicken heads, and then the crowd started chanting chicken head, chicken head.
That's funny.
That was pretty funny.
But also, the Usos versus Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah.
And Chad Gable, a good match.
Really good.
I think it looks like Gable's trying to perfect the rolling. It looks like since I don't remember him doing it last time where he ran them into the turnbuckle and then did the flip.
I don't think he did that in the.
It seems like this might be
Clash of Champions.
Might be the safer way because you run them in and you kind of make sure that you're locked in enough to do it. I like that better where it just looks cooler as well. But I thought it was a good match. Shelton coming back and doing some cool stuff. And, I was trying to think of anything else that happened. I think that was it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else either.
Well, what would be your grade for the SDL?
SmackDown, I would give. Yeah, screw it. It's Christmas. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it. A B+. Just because all the stuff with Dolph that they could do is got me super intrigued. The main storyline has been interesting, and just Rusev Claws. That's right. Is the biggest. So yeah, I'm just gonna break down. Go ahead and give it a B+, because what the heck is Christmas?
Yep, I give For what Dolph is doing, I give him an A. I'm super intrigued. Looking forward to see what happens with that. I give Rusev Claus an A+. Rusev Claus is great. The backstage thing was my favorite. Was the second favorite thing of the night. But yeah, I'd give it a. Everyone's got a solid B, but there wasn't anything outside of Charlotte that I hated. And weird Randy Orton. So I'll give it a B+. Too.
Cool. Well, that's all the wrestling this week that we did. Gee. Yeah, we're gonna try to meet next Friday, I think, to talk about
Raw and SmackDown.
Talk about the Christmas Raw and SmackDown and stuff. And NXT is on USA now, so they're actually showing it on TV, not just on the network. Yeah, so it's actually
kept it.
Yeah, it's actually on USA now, so you can watch it on there. So it's pretty neat. Just a random thing that popped in my head as I was talking. Yeah, I said. So yeah, I think. Do you want to do next time we meet, whenever that is? Do you want to do top 10 matches of the year?
Yep, I got my list. I actually got top 20. So
you're gonna have to.
I don't have to boil it down. I can do the top 10. I do have a top 10.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know
10 more on top of that.
Okay.
So yeah, top 10.
Well, I might you go through. I might let you go through 20 to 11 rapid fire.
Yeah, I'll just mention them because they're really good.
Yeah,
so many good matches this year.
Oh yeah, so many. Last year had some good ones, but this year just through the roof. Like so many good ones.
I was like, and I have honorable mentions on top of those 20.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have like two or three that I would want to go back and watch again to see if they were better, as good as I thought in my mind. So
yeah, last year I was like, all right, rules for me last year were I'm just gonna try to boil it down to 3 AJ Styles matches. This year I'm going for broke. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
No rules. No rules for me this year.
I have to look. I don't remember.
So, yeah, because that was my thing last year. I was like, I don't want to have, any one superstar on here more than 3 times.
I have Johnny Gargano on my list. Like him in some version, DIY and stuff like that. I have him on here like a ton.
Yeah, I have a lot more NXT matches on mine this year than I did last year.
Do you?
Yeah, because last year I think I only had 1 or 2.
Oh. And I do have a couple outside of WWE matches. So there's that.
So yeah, well yeah, that'll be awesome. Do our top 10 matches for the year for next time. So yeah, we're gonna shoot for next Friday, which is I think the 29th. Yep, 29th. So yeah, gonna shoot for that for meeting next week. Anything else you wanna? We have 11. We have 10 minutes we can burn off. Didn't know if there's anything else you wanted to add or discuss right quick, or
I can't think of anything that's going on in news right now.
Yeah, I really can't either.
I think Batista might be in talks for coming back, but he's already said that he's talked with Vince about what he wants, and so it doesn't sound like that he'll come back unless that's what he does. So that'll be interesting if he does come back. I mean, he won't be on TV as much. I think he just wants to do house shows mainly is what it sounds like. That'll sell tickets.
Totally. Dude. Oh, yeah, if they came through like Peoria or Champaign or Bloomington or something, dude, totally, we should go see Batista. I would pay to go see Batista.
Speaking of going to shows, I totally forgot. It's looking like the Cody Rhodes thing, the 10,000 seat thing. He wants to do it in Chicago.
Oh, really?
So if tickets are cheap, and we're not doing anything, I say we drive to Chicago.
I say, yeah.
I'll be part of the 10,000. I don't
care. Totally. Yeah. And
I think they could sell more. I think they could sell more than 10,000. I don't know where they're gonna set up shop. I couldn't find arena seating listings for how many.
Yeah, I don't think they do the United Center because that's downtown Chicago, and the WWE doesn't even go there anymore. They always just go to the Rosemont Horizon Arena. But yeah, I could see them doing a 15 to 20,000 even arena for sure. So, but yeah, if they do set up shop
The tickets are
in
reasonable.
Chicago and tickets aren't bad, I say definitely that. I was gonna suggest in
And
the
my
new
wife
year.
will let me go away.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that in the new year if they come through, on a house show, WWE does,
Peoria, Springfield,
yeah,
Bloomington.
yeah. I know they come through Peoria and Champaign. They do those a lot. So
they do Springfield a decent amount too. Bloomington,
they
I think
do.
they
I
did
figured
it once
they did.
last year. At least, I think.
Yeah, they have Bloomington, Illinois listed in the games.
Oh really?
Where you can like pick a location for an arena that you create for like a custom arena you create.
Huh.
You can pick like if you want to do like make like a small house show arena. You can pick a ton of different set. Yeah, they don't have Peoria, but they have Bloomington.
That's weird.
So I was just like, that's funny. Yeah, it's like 25 minutes away. That's awesome. So yeah, I guess that's it. We can call this episode good. Everybody out there, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, Happy Festivus.
That's right. Festivus for the rest of us.
Exactly. For all you teenagers listening, that's a reference to Seinfeld. Anyways, that is final episode before Christmas. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, if our schedules permit. Happy holidays, everybody. This is Caleb.
This is Jeremy.
Signing off.
Peace.
Suck